What's up, guys? Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Worldwide podcast. Today we have Ervoye and Marin from Keller Williams, Croatia, and Peak Estate. Gentlemen, how are you guys?
Uh, we're great. Thanks for having us on. My name is Hrvoje Čuljak.
And Marin Čuljak.
We are brothers, and together we are founders of a real estate agency, Peak Estate, a boutique real estate agency that's focused mainly on the coastal part of Croatia. And we are part of KW Croatia as well, where we launched 1.5 months ago, and where we're trying to build something special. In just a second, I want to show you something.
Yeah, show us. Show the audience. This guy just showed me right before we started this. Look at that view.
That's the view from.
So tell us, tell the audience, what are we looking at right now?
So this is a micro location, about 20 minutes from Split. We are based in Chiovo. That's an island connected to the mainland with two bridges. And it's a very nice micro location because here you have all the nice beaches. You don't have that many beaches in the city. I don't know
Okay.
how it's in New York. I think it's the same because and all of the people from here go to the beaches. For example, here on Chiovo, because you have those luxury villas that you don't have in the city directly, because the city is full of downtown, etc. So
Ah,
it's a different vibe than in the city. Yeah.
understood. Oh, okay. And we'll definitely get into that, gentlemen. I wanted to start with you introducing yourselves in terms of, well, how did you guys even get into real estate, man? Your story is really cool, so we want to share that part of your lives here in the podcast.
So that's quite an interesting story. We were both born in Munich, in Germany, raised there, spent our whole lives there. And about 7 to 8 years ago, we started summer rentals, our own properties, to rent them out over the summer. And we started maximizing it, scaling it. And through time, we got into investing ourselves, our own, to buy our own apartments, etc. And through all this research that we did for it, from zoning areas, permits, etc., micro locations, um, we thought, why not help international clients find their dream home in Croatia and help them out? And as we're from Germany, we bring here to the table the German discipline and structure, and we combine it with the local market insights. And yeah, that's our story how we got into real estate.
I love it, man. I love it. You guys missed one part though. You guys got to tell me before real estate because that part is very cool too. You guys got to
Yeah,
tell it.
my background, or our both backgrounds, are from soccer. We played soccer initially in Germany, in FC Augsburg, and here for the under 90s national team in Croatia. And when COVID hit, I just made a cut and moved here, and then started maximizing this part of the family business. And he has an interesting story as well. So he came from a consulting background, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
I came. First of all, he was the first one who got into real estate with this renting and then also in this brokerage. And I was all the time in consulting in Germany. And I moved here like 2 months ago, and now we are doing this stuff here and really trying to scale it, trying to bring up also Keller Williams Croatia and make it really, really strong, and also as peak estate.
And choosing a bit a different approach than it's normal here. We know the standards in Germany, in the US, in how it works in the Western world, and we're trying to bring it here and combine everything.
Very cool. I mean, again, I wanted you guys to share that because it's very important. You guys have a fire, and we've spoken before this, right? You guys have a fire in you based off how you speak. You guys really want to be successful. And you guys, please tell the audience, how old are you guys? Because you guys are very young.
26.
And 27.
Yeah.
Look at that. You guys know, like, in our industry, the average age, I mean, at least in the United States, I don't know how it is in Europe. In the United States, the average age for people in our business is like 45 years old. So you guys are miles, miles ahead.
Here it's
Here,
almost the same.
it's the same. We mostly work with 50 plus people. So
There you go. There you go. And the fact that you're young and you guys know what you're doing, that actually makes these older folk respect you more. You guys have the energy and the willingness to get stuff done. People, again, people are different, right? But people maybe a little bit older, maybe have a little bit more responsibilities, maybe a little bit less energy, right? But you guys bring something different. And again, you guys are saying you want to bring that standard to Croatia, which it's probably not so common. Okay. And in our
Mhm.
industry, you guys know, man, there's a lot of people that are not so good at what we do and they're still selling, right? Hey, maybe it may work sometimes, but you both have a different standard, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
so I want to segue into you guys right now. What type of real estate? Well, first off, before that, you guys were mentioning Split, right? You guys were mentioning the nice views you guys have in the back. Which cities do you guys mainly advise investors to, in regards to real estate?
I would say really Split is one of the it's a really nice city to invest also. But I would say Split is kind of not saturated, but there is no more room for improvement. Split is quite dense. Therefore, all the surrounding areas around Split, you have a few really nice. You have Trogir, which is around 20 kilometers from Split. Where you have also Trio Island, which is also like 20 minutes from Split, and all those areas around are becoming really attractive for international buyers because we see it also on the square meters price in Split are pretty high, and it's almost half of it here in the
it's a
surrounding
completely
areas.
different kind of market in the city of Split. It's only downtown apartments for people who live there. For example, and outside of Split, where we act most of the time, it's more sea view, luxury apartments, villas, etc. for international clients. And most of the buyers here, for example, we are in the surroundings of Split, are international buyers, so foreigners.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so there isn't as much Croatians buying, or is more foreign investors?
Only until a cap of about 250K, 300K. That's what they can finance, and
Okay,
the rest is for 300K, for 300,000 euros. You can buy two bedrooms, for example, but you cannot buy three bedrooms. That's the thing.
so
And
it's
one important thing is that all the buildings that are being built cannot be financed while being built. But
Most of
most
it.
of them, but they're already being sold in advance. So
okay.
only cash buyers can buy. So
Interesting.
and these are most of the time international clients, international buyers.
Got it. Okay, I wanted you made a very important point. So you were talking about that there's a cap for the financing. You said 300,000?
Not for the financing, but because the average salary is not that high, maybe like in
Oh.
Germany or somewhere else. They're most of the time they're capped because of the salary, how much they can finance.
Ah, okay,
So
okay.
it
So
can be
base
200K, it can be 400, but it's very rare. It's about 300K, let's say.
okay, fair enough. So basically the lower earners in Croatia get pretty much capped out, and it
Yes.
leaves room for investors now to come by and purchase in Croatia. Okay, so you're saying that these new developments they're not able to get financing? You guys can explain a little bit more.
Most of it, let's say, I would say like 30% you can finance, but 70% you cannot finance. Either you can finance if the developer works closely together with the bank,
Okay.
and that's why during construction you pay it, and instantly when, let's say, the building is built and you have all the papers, everything done, and you can finance it, you have directly a price increase of, I would say, 20-30% instantly,
Interesting. Okay. So
because then you
basically,
can finance it.
So the prices when it's still being built are about the same like old buildings, about the
mhm.
same. But as soon as it's finished and you get the inhabitants permit that you can be there, the prices are about 20 to 25% higher than in older buildings, which makes sense. But of
Okay.
course, the prices are a little bit lower when you reserve them in the building phase.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
I
where the
mean,
profit is made for, especially for international cash buyers.
definitely, right? I mean, rightfully so. It's in a way you're waiting, you're quote unquote taking a risk, but then once the building is built, you're gonna have a brand new building, then it's obviously gonna be worth more.
Yep.
So, okay. And typically, what do these, I mean, I know it ranges, right? But typically, what do, let's say, two-bedroom apartments Sea View go for, brand new construction?
I would say about 300,000 euros. Um, the prices are about 4,000 euros per square meter. That's about $300 per square foot.
Okay.
430, so $430 per square foot. That's about the average. It can be a bit less, a bit more. And if you're in the first row, for example, you can pay up to 10,000 euros per square meter. So
And
Wow.
what we recently saw also, especially in this, let's say, really top hotspots, you are first row to the sea, second row to the sea. This is a completely different market at all. It's completely separated from all the rest, and there we see also increasing demand.
Because the coastline is not big in Croatia, and
Hmm.
so the first row properties are like we have a waiting list of people who, if
I can
there's a
imagine.
plot, if there's a plot or something that you can buy in the first row, let us know. So and those all go off market, those deals.
Wow. So there's waiting lists for these, I guess, so it's called first row properties. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
First row, second row to the sea, like that. It's not far away from the sea. And these are the
Interesting.
prime locations here. So it's not the prime location that you're downtown, it's the prime location how far is the sea.
Okay, very interesting. So for you guys, right, you're saying that there's a waiting list for these oceanfront properties. Now, because of that, have people been pushing? I mean, I guess you said that already. People have been pushing out further from the city. Is that what's been
Yes,
happening? Or
that's exactly what's happening. That's why the whole coast of Croatia got very interesting. Even the smaller towns, villages, people are building their brand new buildings. People are buying their apartments, but there were initially villages, so it's spreading out.
oh
But
man,
of course, those villages, you have to be careful where you buy, and of course, it's always better to have a good micro location, that it's nearer to the city than 150 kilometers away, because in case there some downturn, like an every cycle that happens, if you're not, if you can rent it on a long-term basis to somebody who works in Split, then you're safe. Then if it's
okay.
somewhere nowhere.
So wow, okay. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it happens anywhere in the world, right? And it's a little bit of the example of what happened here in New York City. So over here downtown Manhattan is the prime real estate, right? And people start getting pricing out and start moving further out, Brooklyn, Queens, and now Long Island, right? So now over there it's more along the coast. That's what you guys are
Mm,
saying, right?
exactly.
Interesting. Okay. Now, I mean, you may or may not know this, right? For you guys, do you on average, how much do rental, let's say you wanted to rent your apartment, your two-bedroom apartment, for through Airbnb, right? Do you guys know how much all these prices can go for? Let's say oceanfront.
Of oceanfront.
Ocean- That's a completely different market. That's separated. Two-bedroom apartment can go not oceanfront, just normal apartment can go for about 200 euros per night, 250 euros per night in the peak season. So
Man,
and oceanfront can go for double, so about 500 euros per day per night.
okay. So wow, that's a lot. So oceanfront, two-bedroom apartments, prime areas, you can get you can rent out your apartment for around 500
Yes,
euros a
but
day.
you pay double when you buy it, so it's
So these are
you
probably
pay.
like 600,000 euro apartments.
Yes, exactly. About 500 to 600 thousand euro apartments for 50 to 60 square meters in the if it's in the first row in a nice micro location.
Micro location. So talk about that, right? For the audience that doesn't know. Okay, can you explain what that means?
Well, micro location I would say is a location where there's a big demand, very high demand, and it has all the factors. It is not far away from the airport, from a big city. It has nice beaches around, and there's limited supply oftentimes. And then what happens? Demand and supply. Many people want to buy there. It's very in, and they can't even get it. And if they get it, it's a and not all of the coast is like this. You have the coast is big. You have places where there are no beaches. It's further away from the airport. No big city near. So then it's less of a good micro location, depending what you're looking for. Micro
Okay.
locations are often very liquid and very strong. So yeah.
Okay. So you can get into a property and sell it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yes.
very much
Yes.
in demand. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, I want to get into for you both if a foreign investor, and I want you to talk from A to Z. If foreign investor wanted to purchase in, let's say, a new construction apartment in Croatia, how from A to Z, how would the steps look like?
So now we have to differentiate between EU buyers or non-EU buyers, like US citizens. So
Okay,
yes,
let's start with
uh,
U.S. citizens then.
US citizens exactly.
Yeah.
So the process is straightforward and all taken care of by a lawyer. So first you have to get your Croatian tax ID, tax number. It's called OIB.
Okay.
And when you get it, you can make an approval. When you buy something, non-EU buyers have to go through the Ministry of Justice and get an approval uh, from them. And it's not and complicated. It's really simple. It's just a additional step of bureaucracy and takes 1 to 3 months, and it's all taken care of by the lawyer. Not much additional costs, but it's there. Let's just say. But the interesting fact is that 2026 Croatia is expected to be a full member state of OECD. And this means that when this happens, all OECD member states will be able to buy without a approval of the Ministry of Justice. So this is expected to happen this year. So this would simplify the process. It's already simple for them to buy, but yeah. And for EU buyers, it's completely they have the same conditions as Croatian residents and citizens, so all EU citizens.
Okay. So for non-EU citizens, they need to get the OIP, OIP, what's it called?
OIB, OEB,
OE,
OIB,
OIB,
OIB. Yes,
OIB,
yes,
then the stamp from the Ministry of Justice,
yes.
Now, both of those, you're saying maybe take a few months.
Yeah, it's just so you can make already the transaction, but for you to be in the land registry, to be signed in the land registry as the owner, you have to send it to the ministry and get it back, and then you can be registered.
Okay. Now, do you need to do that before you even start looking? Or is that something
No.
you can do while you're looking?
No, no. This is when you find the property, what you do. Because you say, I want on this property to get an approval.
Okay.
And most of the time they do it after the transaction.
Ah, and
And
then that's
we don't know anyone that got that didn't got the approval. It's just like an additional step.
yeah, it's government's trying to
Yes,
take a little
yes.
extra. Like I get it. That's how it always is. Okay. So, all right. So we have you find the property. Obviously, we know that once you identify a property, you need to do the other steps. That's the attorney helps, right? The attorney
Yes,
helps you do those.
yes, of
Okay.
course. You need a lawyer, an attorney that's specialized in real estate, and he takes care of all of this.
All right.
So you don't have to worry about anything.
Beautiful. Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. So let's say they have an apartment or a house that they like. Obviously, they're using Erboye and Marin to help them out. Now, what's the next steps for them? Let's say you have something that you like.
The next step is you made the you sign with the lawyer that he makes the contract. He starts writing the contract that you have a binding offer, and he writes the contract. The seller signs the contract. The buyer doesn't even have to be there. The
Okay.
buyer doesn't have to be there at the notary, only the seller. That's interesting in Croatia
Hmm.
because you give your approval through the payment.
Okay.
Yeah. And most of the time you pay directly to the seller, what's not no, normal in the US. I
It's
know you
not.
go to
Yeah.
the notary, yes. But if somebody doesn't like to do it, the notary can make a separate bank account, and then it's an additional cost of about €1,000 if you do that. And then you put all your, you can tell the notary, okay, you give them the contract, and what it's about, when they have to give the money to the seller, etc. So all the details, and then they take care of the. But most of the time, they actually don't do it here.
Most of the time. Oh, okay. Now,
So you pay directly to the seller, but so you pay to the seller, but now there's an additional document in Croatia that it's a confirmation of payment. And
hmm.
with this confirmation of payment, you get registered in the land registry. So this is the most important document.
Oh.
It's called tabularna izjava, a bit complicated, I know. So what happens? The seller, for example, signs both of them, the contract and the confirmation, and as soon as he gets the money, he gives the document to the lawyer or to the buyer, and then they can register in the land registry. Or he immediately, what's better, even he immediately leaves this document in the notary after signing, or with the lawyer, however you prefer. And then, as soon as he got the money, the land, if the notary gets the money and the notary has the document, the notary will tell the lawyer that they can follow through with the land registry.
Okay. Okay. So
So there's the contract and there's the confirmation of payment.
yes, yes.
That's already signed in advance, most of the time, and you leave it with the notary or with the lawyer. And the lawyer is being told by mail and with a screenshot and confirmation, and he confirms with the seller that the transaction is through, or the buyer sends him that he has paid it.
Okay. So just so I'm understanding, there's a contract that's formulated. Let's say I'm the buyer. You
Yes,
guys are representing me. I'm gonna buy a property. My attorney formulates the contract, correct?
yeah,
Then it's submitted to the seller side.
Yes.
Do they also have an attorney, or it could just be the seller?
Most of the time, only the buyer has an attorney.
Only the buyer.
It's
Okay.
very simple actually here in Croatia. They don't complicate it most of the time with
Two
back and
attorneys.
forth. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Maybe when it's a bigger transaction, yes. If it's something bigger, bigger investment, yes. But normal apartments, no. Only the buyer has an attorney.
so you're dealing directly with the developer then.
Yes. And
Okay.
if he doesn't like something, he tells you, can you change this and this? So
Okay. So we submit the contracts and then we also submit the payment. Now, is this a down payment? Do you submit everything? How does it work when you submit that payment to the seller?
no, no, no. He signs the contract. You submit him the contract.
Okay.
He signs the contract at the notary.
Oh, the seller
So
signs the contract at notary.
the seller signs the
Ah,
contract at the notary. So
okay.
he confirmed he's selling it at the notary. And what he does as well, he signs this confirmation of payment
Okay.
at the notary as well, and leaves it at the notary. And then, as soon as the transaction is finished, the notary can give uh, can give the buyer or the lawyer of the buyer this receipt, with which you can be registered in the land registry.
Okay. So with the confirmation of payment, that money that's sent to the seller, is that, let's say it's 300,000 euros. All of that is
Yeah,
sent at one point.
all of that, all of that.
Okay. So it's not some sort of
All of it.
initial payment.
When every last euro is sent, then you get the confirmation that you can be registered in the land
Okay.
registry.
Okay. That makes sense. And usually, how long does this take?
But this can take 2 days.
2 days.
So
Very.
yeah, we have transaction going in 2 days.
Wow. Okay. So it's very quick then.
So,
If you
and
have
then
cash.
to register in the land registry, it's maybe 1 week, and
Okay.
you're already registered.
Okay. So
So,
it's
and it's
very.
more because it's most of the time cash buyers. If somebody's financing it, you need for the whole process about 1 month, 1.5 months maximum.
Okay. So let's go over that too. Let's say somebody wants to buy through a bank. Okay. Now, do they need to have the Ministry of Justice stamp before they start looking, or they can just start talking to the banks?
No, after they do that afterwards.
Okay, so it's the same
Yeah,
thing. They that all that
yeah.
stuff is done
They
after.
always do this afterwards, and only when you do it, when you finance for the bank needs a pre-contract. You sign a pre-contract with a little money that you reserve the apartment that he doesn't sell it to anyone else. And then the banks take maybe 1 month, 1.5 to process everything, and they check if the valuation is fair and what they can offer the buyer. And when the bank is finished, we go with the main contract and the same procedure with the receipt, etc.
Okay,
So, but there are a few more documents that are between the buyer and the bank that they have to sign
of
and go
course.
through at the notary as well.
Okay. So for in order for somebody to get a loan, do they need to have some sort of contract signed with the seller before the transaction is finalized?
They
If that
have to
makes any
check.
sense?
They have to check in advance if they can get a loan. This,
Okay.
of course, they can. But to start the process, he needs some kind of pre-contract.
Okay. So
So
you need a
pre-contract
pre-contract.
that yes.
Okay.
So it's binding. So they're sure they don't
Yeah,
waste
yeah.
the time.
Makes sense, right? That makes sense. Imagine they're going through the entire process and then seller sells it to somebody else. So that wouldn't make
Yeah,
sense.
that's the thing.
Okay. Very cool. Now, I'm glad that we've talked about this because there are going to be people that are probably interested. And hey, man, I think I forgot, I posted something about Croatia, and I got a few messages from people, they love to travel to Croatia. Some of them
Hmm.
actually want to invest out there. Okay. So these are things that that they would want to know looking at the episode, okay? Or
Mhm.
anybody in general, they want to see what the process is because I think yes, now with AI, you can probably find it online, but it you and me both know it's not the same.
The process is actually quite simple if you understand and somebody shows it to you. And the transaction goes like this. So it's not complicated. It's just different than I know in many other countries.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for example, here in the US, I mean, it's very long, but let's say if it's a cash transaction, it's pretty quick. Each state in the United States has their own sets of rules on how to close on real estate transactions. But here in New York, as opposed to Croatia and other parts of the country, both buyer and seller need an attorney. In other states, there's no attorneys at all. Okay, so it's it's crazy. There's
And
so
who
many
makes the
different
contract then?
Who makes the contract?
the agents. The
Yeah,
agents
the
make
agent. And they
Okay.
need an attorney, okay?
they need an attorney exactly.
So three attorneys involved.
Three attorneys involved, exactly. So we bought a property. We've bought a few properties in other states, and yeah, it's the agents. It's the agents doing the contracts, and you always have to be extra careful as the buyer because you don't these agents aren't attorneys, and these are legal contracts. So it's
Mm.
always best to get some sort of advice from an attorney. I recommend it. So I think
Mm.
even though in New York it's a little bit longer with attorneys, but either way, I think it's good. The process to close, if it's a full cash transaction,
Mhm.
it's 2 weeks, and that's
Okay.
quick. 2 weeks is
Okay.
quick and full cash because there's something called, and I don't know if there's something similar in Croatia. Maybe you guys can explain. There's something called a title report here in New York. So you have a contract of sale, buyer and seller, they agree. There's 10% down on contract, then 2 weeks for a title report. That's just to see if the home, most homes here are resale. It's not so much new construction. There is some, but even
Okay.
then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
so something like an inspection of the property or what is
yeah.
it like?
Well, there is an inspection, right? But that comes way before that. And that's the next day after a verbal accepted offer. So you're going to buy a property, you put in $1 million offer in New York. You don't need to, for an accepted offer, you don't need to, I mean, you can, but there's something called an offer binder. Here in
Hmm.
New York, it's not very customary. There's an accepted offer, both parties agree verbally. Then they'll do the inspection, then they drop the contracts. After that, there's a title search. So that title search is basically for resale properties. If there's anything wrong with the property in terms of if they owe any back taxes, if there's any violations on the property, maybe it wasn't built the correct way, any of those things has to be cleared by the seller, by the current seller. I don't foresee that happening with new construction over there. Is there something similar for
You know
resale?
what's interesting here? That all of this is open source in Croatia.
Open source.
Open source, yes, that you can see who has all permits, who has done
Okay.
everything by permits,
Huh.
and who is the owner of something, and if he still has some financing on it, some loan. All see
Mm,
that in open source.
there you
It's
go.
very rare.
There
So
you go.
you can go like on Google Maps and see that somebody owns this plot and that he has a loan of 100K on it, and you see
Huh.
the address and you find him. It's-
So, okay. Now, in Croatia, I know every country is different. If homes are sold, let's say you sell a villa for 1 million euros, is that public information or is that more between the brokers?
It
Like, can you
depends
go on a
where.
website? Can you go on a website or the government website to find out
No,
transactions?
no, no.
No, only notaries and there is a system to see every transaction, but only notaries and brokerages Like we are can see those transactions and for how much they went.
Okay, so that's not something the public can
No,
find out.
no.
Ah,
You
okay.
can only see who's the owner of the plot of the property and so
And
on.
if it's something wrong in the papers in the land registry, you can see it all online.
Okay,
And you
that's
can
pretty
see the
cool.
permits who wants to build something and has requested for a permit. You can see on every plot
Hmm.
and how the process is going and when did he got it and when he finished it. You can see if he got the last permit of inhabitants. It's called uporabna dozvola. That everything is built like in the permit in the project.
That's
So
that
that's
what that's called here is certificate of occupancy here in New
yes,
York.
certificate of occupancy, and then
Yeah.
you can live there, and then you can rent it, etc. So if you have
Yes.
this, you're safe, and that's
Okay.
what you can see open source as well.
There you go. So here in New York, you need to hire somebody. They're gonna try to take everything from you in every step. But yes, so that's how it is over here. Okay. Now you guys obviously you work a lot over there with different investors. Do you see these investors going towards a certain parts of the city? Um, is there a preference? Or is that kind of where you guys are suggesting, hey, this is an upcoming area? Like talk to us about that.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the investor. Is Are you speaking about people who, let's say, want to buy second homes for just privacy or lifestyle purpose, or they want really to invest? If they, let's say, go for investments, those I would say smaller areas and smaller cities which are not saturated yet are really interesting because they have pretty much upside potential. I'm speaking here, for example, about Trogir, a really nice city, and also this Chiovo Island. We have also Šibenik, really good. There we have also a small town which belongs to Šibenik region, Primošten. This is like a really nice area where you have only new built villas, completely luxury, really nice spots. So those areas are now becoming very interesting for those investors because there you have this upside potential. You don't have it really like in city center or Split and
Because
downtown.
everything that was built about 20, 30 years ago, we're quite a new country, and then there were not many regulations, and then it got
Mm,
built up a lot. And now, where you have all this land left at nice spots, now it's all new builds there, and it drives the prices up. You have whole areas that are new built villas, etc. And then you have locations where everything was built already, so it's not that interesting older
mm.
houses, etc.
Okay. So is that so in these smaller I mean listen, when in the show notes, I'm gonna spell those names out because I cannot pronounce them. So definitely I'm gonna put this in captions for people.
Okay.
But so you're saying that those areas those are where people are moving to. So areas not really built up from 20 years ago and there's a lot of new construction. That's where more people are moving to.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
and where the sea view is good. That's like the
sea
most
view.
important thing when they come here. They want the sea view. Everybody
Sea
wants
view.
sea view.
And
Okay.
also proximity to airport here, also to highway. You have a really good highway here, new build. So
Because
Okay.
in the part where we are in Dalmatia, it's in the south of Croatia. You have most of the time like it goes like a hill from the beach.
Very
So
nice.
sometimes stronger, sometimes you have like a mountain, like 1 kilometer from the sea, and sometimes it goes a bit up like this. And so most of the time you have a sea view if there's not a building directly in front of you or something else. So a lot
Very
of
nice.
places have sea view here.
Okay. Okay. So people are basically looking at waterfront. That's the main, if they're not
yeah, but
waterfront,
It's quite expensive, so it's
Waterfront got quite expensive. Now they want those that don't have the budget, they just want a sea view. They can be 200, 300 meters away from the sea, but when they drink their morning coffee on the terrace, that they look at the sea like we do.
Like you guys, exactly. I was just about to say, just like you guys. Okay. Where do you guys see the market in Croatia heading to in the next few years?
So I see Croatia becoming more like an Mediterranean luxury hub more than just a holiday destination. It was
Mm,
just a holiday destination, but it's becoming uh, this kind of hub because we have more high-end developments that are being built, a lot of marinas that are being built, and branded residences are coming. So a lot of things are happening, and we have a completely new buyer profile coming here in the last couple of years. So a lot of high net worth individuals are coming here yachting, and then they look at properties at villas. So just a few names of people that come here in the last few years that came here. I met Michael Jordan 3 years ago on the Riva on the promenade in Split. Last summer was Jeff Bezos with his yacht, mega yacht here in the bay. Magic Johnson was last summer here with his yacht. So and it's all in the radius of 20 miles, so 30 kilometers. So
very
a lot
cool.
of those people come here, and then there I see a lot of potential. In this part, it's still like an early stage of a bigger growth cycle that I see coming, and it's shifting more into the luxury segment.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's very cool. People usually talk about your friend, you know, your Parises, your Londons, your New Yorks, right? Not as many people. I mean, over the past maybe like 5 years, a lot of people started going to Croatia, right? But it's good to hear that it's not just about those cities, right? There's other beautiful
Mm,
cities that maybe aren't as expensive, and you can get into, you know, before the hype goes up. So it's good
mm,
right now to get into a market like Croatia because you're already seeing billionaires are going there for a vacation, which, you know, billionaires, they don't want to go where everybody is right now. They like their privacy. So
mm,
right now would be a good time because these celebrities are going to make these areas very famous. And you know what happens? People are just going to start buying up even more than they are right now. So you know, another one that I spoke to was another agent in Albania, right? I didn't personally, I never really heard much about Albania, but Albania is, you know, the Balkans, beautiful, and people are buying over there too, right? Obviously,
mhm,
this episode is about Croatia, but that's just like this is why I do this episode. You know, this is why I have this podcast. So people, it's not just about the big cities. Like you can expand your horizons, and then you can actually get earlier into these into these markets and you'll be able to benefit in the long term. And then in 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, you're going to be like, yeah, I remember I bought in Croatia. Now everything is double the price. So that's what we want.
yeah.
That's what
We
we're trying
saw.
to do.
I made also a LinkedIn post a few weeks ago, which went quite viral, and there also mentioned like people said in 2020, now the real estate hype is gone, and we are like 80% up again.
Look
So
at that.
on average 80%. That means on these in these areas,
it's all
really hotspot areas, it's quite it's
it's
way more than
over
100,
100%
way more than
easily
100%, way more.
since COVID.
2020, that's like
And
and.
since 2020, we had this economic boom here in Croatia. It's quite significant. And what happened, in my opinion, is Croatia opened up a little bit earlier than those other southern countries, than Portugal, Spain, Italy. And 2020, a lot of people came for the first time to Croatia, make their
Mm.
vacation here. And then maybe the second time, then they told someone else. And so it began, and we had like last year 16% year over year price
That's
increases,
crazy.
and that's about
16%.
on average we had 10 to 15% since COVID.
Wow.
So the price is
That's
double.
And that's during the interest rates being being like 3,
The interest
4%.
rates are went up, so all the markets like Germany, we know everywhere the real estate went down. Now it's stagnating, but it went down, and here it went just through the roof. And then I'm thinking, okay, what will happen if the rates go down? You know?
Yeah, you would think, right? But again, it's such a strong market right now. So,
Mhm.
and what are interest rates there right now?
3.3%, I would say,
Yeah.
for around about.
A year?
3 point. Yes.
Wow, that's really good. Here in the US is like seven for for somebody wanting to purchase a property with a mortgage through a bank, 7%, 6.5%. It's very high. Very, very
Yeah.
high. So, okay. That
The,
situation would happen. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
you know, I just want to say your Fed rates are higher. That's why
It's my
you
God,
have your
it's
own power, you know?
these guys, man. Over here, it's just everything is more expensive. And here in New York, Long Island, so that's anything east of Queens. Crazy. The market is insane. Still, these are $800,000 homes. These homes are old. They're from the 1920s. Let me see if I have them. Okay, let me show you because I have my webcam because I have the laptop. Oh, actually, yeah. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see those homes. You see those
Nice.
homes?
Yes.
So this is an area called Franklin Square. I'm in Long Island. Okay. So that's maybe 1,200 square feet, 1,400 square feet. Now
Hmm.
these properties here in Franklin Square, you can probably maybe $700,000. These are 1920s homes. And if something like this goes on the market, it goes quick. This area is very close to Queens and the city. Why do I say that? It's it's just the market. That's the market. That's how it is. And I'm pretty sure that's how it is in Croatia. Just people want to invest in. Oh, wait, something
Hmm.
disconnected. You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we
we
can
hear you,
hear.
hear you.
I think for some reason my mic disconnected.
We can
Yeah,
hear
this
you
mic
It's
well.
you.
disconnected. That's fine. It's not a problem. Um,
Yeah, but here the demand is very, very high, and the supply is limited. So that's our main problem. So that we don't have much supply in good locations.
mm,
So the buyers are waiting, but the supply is
I mean,
scarce.
there is supply, but it's not sufficient to fulfill the demand.
so that means the prices are only going to keep going up. So if you get into something now, right, you're almost not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, but you can safely assume that these properties are going to keep going up. Okay, and real estate is cyclical anyway. So even if they take a small dip over a long time, it's always going to be going up historically. So
Mhm.
okay.
So what happened actually is Croatia was um, cheap. So let's say in regards to other countries in Europe, and I would say they just came to the same level, even not yet as the other countries.
Huh.
So they were just undervalued until now. So that's
Wow.
why we got the pricing. I would not say that we're expensive now. We just got to some fair value in regards to the open market that we have with the whole EU and the whole
Mm.
world.
Do for properties, I know you guys were talking about supply. Is it hard for developers to build? Is there a lot of, I guess, laws to restrict building? If you guys, I
Um,
mean, if you guys can,
It's becoming more difficult, but it's quite comparable to other countries. It's really good, and you have really good developer margins. You have really good margins if you build. And the problem here are, let's say, scarcity of building
yeah,
land.
the challenging part is to get good land. So not the
mm,
budget part, but to get good land. And the profit margins, what he said, are about 30 to 50%
wow.
when you buy. And if you have a waterfront property, you can have a 100% margin, but you can't get those plots. That's the main.
That's
They're scarce because you can build somewhere 2 kilometers away from the sea, and it's not that interesting, and you don't have this demand.
okay. How's the crime over there? How is, I mean, listen, New
Croatia,
York crime is bad, so that's what I'm
Croatia
telling
is
you.
the
Croatia,
safest country in Europe. Yeah,
Safest
I
country.
think last
yes,
or 2 years ago they announced it
yeah.
as the safest country in Europe.
Okay, so think about that. So you have safety, you have relatively cheaper compared to other parts of like, like your hotspots or your more popular cities. It's safe. Come on, right? Why not? Why? How could it not go up? People are worried right now, especially in Europe, about safety. That is a real concern. In the US too,
Mhm.
there's a real concern about safety. And when a city has low crime rates, people are gonna end up, above. In addition to everything else we just talked about, the scenery, the prices, it's only gonna go up. How could it not? Gentlemen, is there any properties that you guys would want to feature?
Yes,
Sure,
yes.
we have
We
a
can.
we have a really nice villa. We have a really nice villa here, especially where we are. It's like 300 meters where we are exactly right now on Chiova Island. Do you see it?
Yes, we see this.
Great. That's a villa on Chiova Island, which belongs to Trogir. It's really nice with a pool, nice sea views, high quality. Really designer villa, like 200 square meters, 200 square meters inside. That should be around about 2,150 square feet, roundabout inside, and four
How,
bedrooms,
how
four
many square
bathrooms
how many square meters?
200 square meters.
Oh,
inside.
so it's around 2,000
Yeah,
Yeah,
square
yeah,
yeah,
feet.
yeah.
2,000
yeah.
square
So
feet. Okay.
and you see in the video, you see the finishings. So
Finishing are really high
what
end.
Yes.
best you can get on the market, and the price is 2.35 million euros, so
Yeah.
2.75 million dollars.
It's round about 200 meters
It's
from the sea, a little bit on the hill. So you have your privacy, but you are 200 meters from the sea. You are like 8 minutes from Trogir, Old Town. So you have everything there. You have your privacy. You're uphill. So really, that's
it's a trophy asset,
This is very nice. Look at that.
and it's
It
no
has the
rendering.
pool.
It's real.
that's
People think when we show the pictures, they look like 3D renderings.
Yes, this is very well made too. And look,
Yeah.
in the back you have your pool and you have views of the water.
that's a prototype of villa, I would say. Really lifestyle villa. Really, but you can also rent it. This is really you can rent
You
this.
can achieve in this villa about 2,000 euros per night in the peak season.
2,000 euros a night.
Yes. You have a
So
gym.
Wow.
14,000 per week, and you make a minimum 7 nights, for example, and then you have bookings of 40,000 euros in the peak season.
Oh man. When is peak season in Croatia?
Peak season is from 15th of June to about 15th of September.
Okay.
That's like the main part of the season.
But peak
But the
peak is
price is peak is, let's say, from 10th of July to about 15th, 20th of August. So those 40 days you can achieve maximum pricing. So just for your information, for example, when you look on the 1st of August, that's peak. Like this date is peak, to 1st of August. If you look one day in advance and want to book an apartment, last year there was not one left on the whole coast of 100 kilometers. There are
Wow.
no beds left, so this is how the demand looks. If you
Look at
if you're not looking in advance.
that. Look at that. This is very nice. So if you guys, so you said how much?
$2.75 million in dollars. Two point
2.75 million dollars.
yes, dollars. 2.35 million euros. That's about 2.75 in dollars.
Very nice. This is so when after this send me this video too. I would love to feature it as well. Again,
For sure.
We can get you guys a buyer for this. That would be amazing.
Why not?
Oh, why not? Why not?
We have
Gentlemen,
more of this, but this is just one prototype, I would
Yeah.
say. Really, really for to feel this luxury segment here in Croatia.
yeah. Listen, send those things over, right? I have a marketing team, right? So we can definitely help publicize this, and we have a newsletter that we send to our clients. You'll never know. We have people from all over the world that we serve. We have, oh my God, it's so many different nationalities here that people want to invest in other countries. So who knows? Maybe in that you may get a buyer, right? The idea is to help each other out. Okay, I think that's in our
Sounds
business.
great.
It's not competition. It's literally collaboration with each other, right? We can all win, you know? Gentlemen, any last tips that you suggest for any investors wanting to invest in Croatia?
I would say, first of all, come here, make a vacation, and if you've never been to Croatia, come here for a vacation and see it, feel the vibe here. Because really, objectively said, Croatia is one of the most beautiful countries on really in the world, due to its coastline, to its people, and due to its nature. The mentality here is also a completely different one. We say here, pomalo. We say that
Slowly,
makes
slowly.
slowly. So
Pomelo?
yeah, it's really
Pomelo.
like people are in a hurry, but for a coffee you have always 10 minutes for a coffee. You can
Not 10 minutes, it's 3 hours here.
yeah.
They sit all, so you don't you
I love
can't
it.
sit anywhere. The coffee shops are full.
But
I love it.
yeah, what I wanted to say, come here and feel the vibe, feel the nature here, feel everything, and then when you say, okay, I rather I want to let's say buy a second home, or like I want to make strategic investments. Either ones, we can find investments, and yeah.
And one thing I would say, don't rely on online listings in Croatia.
Mm,
So because they oftentimes seem better than they are, best is to work with a trusted broker and a lawyer who specialized in real estate. So to have your team around and only buy from trusted builders. We, for example, only work with the most reliable and trusted builders in the whole area. So and that's the most important thing, because you have to check if all the papers are fine, if the zoning area, everything. And if you're not from here, it's quite difficult.
gentlemen, pleasure. Any way for somebody, how can people reach out to you if they were interested in possibly investing in Croatia?
So they can check our website, peakestate.hr. They can as well check out our Instagram, peakestate.hr. They can find us on LinkedIn, where we're quite active, Hrvoje Čuljak, Marin Čuljak. So, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Even if you're only exploring Croatia, feel free to reach out, hit us up. So we'd be happy to help you.
Perfect. Gentlemen, I'm going to drop that in the show notes for us. And again, it was a pleasure, and we'll definitely stay in touch. All right.
The pleasure's on our side, and next time we come to New York,
Oh, definitely.
make the second episode.
Exactly. We'll do the other episode over here in our studios.
Yes.
Great.
Pleasure,
Sounds
gentlemen. All right.